With the release of the first details for Netflix's long-awaited and often thought to be cancelled Dark Crystal prequel series, I had a whole bunch of requests to go into the lore of this universe and bring you some explained videos. Due to the age of the Dark Crystal, I'm sure that a lot of this is actually going to be new to a lot of people, especially judging by the demographic of the viewers on my channel. Which is genuinely a true shame, because if you have not seen this and this is new to you, you must go and watch it. I highly encourage anyone to watch The Dark Crystal. It is a very tight, imaginative little movie with a great story and very, very immersive practical effects. As we know in The Dark Crystal, there are only 2 Gelflings left. So today, I want to discuss and explain who the Gelfling are as a race and break down exactly why, when we dive into the universe, there are only 2 survivors left. Now, there's not really any spoilers for this, so please don't be concerned if you haven't seen the movie The Dark Crystal. You can watch this and still watch that and get the enjoyment out of it. That being said, let's dive right in. Gelflings are native to Thra, the world that the Dark Crystal is set in. They were intelligent, sentient, and most of all, they were peaceful. In what's known as the Age of Harmony, they colonized most of Thra and they spread their race far and wide. The Skeksis, this name probably won't mean much for now, but I will explain them soon, had an amicable relationship with the Gelflings even after the event known as the Great Division. However, all would change when the Skeksis decided to enslave the Gelflings. In terms of their appearance, the Gelfling are very small, almost elf-like creatures. They have small, triangular faces, very wide and prominent cheekbones, with a very pointed chin and pointed ears. Their eyes are large and wide, and from male to female, they remain fairly similar, except females had a pair of wings. The reason and origin of the wings are not exactly clear, but folklore in this universe tells of a Gelfling girl that touched a cloud and knitted it together, fashioning it into wings and fixing it to her shoulders so that she could fly. Another legend of the Gelfling tells of a young girl that once touched a sacred rock and wished as hard as she could for a pair of wings. However, the wings in realistic terms are just a result of evolution, probably due to females caring for the young up high, and the males more than likely lost their wings many centuries ago as they were the typical hunter-gatherers. This can actually be evidenced in the movie due to the fact we see Kira's wings and she can't actually fly. They have very limited movement and can only be used as parachutes. Hence they have almost devolved. They've lost the use for them. Gelflings also have a form of telepathy, mind melding of sorts, though they call it dream fasting. This only works between 2 Gelfling. However, when 2 Gelfling touch, they blend consciousness, sending a wave of images to one another, giving the other an insight into their consciousness and memories. This is also an ability that Aughra had, however, generally speaking, it is only between Gelflings. Although I stated that the Gelfling were peaceful, there was one clan that was not, the Spiriton clan. However, outside of this very small outlier, they were kind, nurturing, they would sing and dance and tell stories and rhyme. Again, another similarity is elves or hobbits. As for the history of the Gelfling, which is something that will presumably be explored in the prequel series on Netflix, they have gone through a lot. The first age, known as the Age of Innocence, is where the Gelfling were incredibly primitive, closer to Neanderthals than man. They relied on a wise being known as Aughra. She would teach them the dangers of Thra and guide them in the right direction, nurturing their race. Then came the Age of Harmony. The Ursex arrived, a race of immensely powerful beings from another planet. They came as they were banished from their homeworld. The Ursex began imparting knowledge on the land of Thra and helped not only the Gelflings but also every single race there was. However, with respect to the Gelflings, they helped them with tools and the ability to tame nature and expand their colonies across the world of thra. They also assisted Aughra and built her observatory. Then, the dark times would wash over thra. The Great Division occurred. The Urseks were nearing their time to return to their homeworld. They were relinquished from their banishment, and delegates from the sentient races of thra were invited to bear witness to this event. However, during the Second Great Conjunction, the Urseks divided, split, into the evil Skeksis and the peaceful Uru. The rule of the Skeksis then began. It wasn't all bad at the start. Gelflings would live with the Skeksis in the castle surrounding the Dark Crystal. 800 shrine later, a measurement of time in this universe, the Skeksis would twist and turn themselves, becoming increasingly violent and vicious. They enslaved the Gelflings and even went a step further to draining them of their essence so as to rejuvenate themselves. Obviously, the Gelflings sensed that their time was near and they joined together. The 7 circles of the 7 Gelfling sat on the hilltops and looked upwards towards the skies. The stars would tell them of a prophecy. A Gelfling would find the shard of the Dark Crystal and heal the wound in both the Skeksis and the Uru and bring peace to thra. The Skeksis, learning of this, created the Garthim, a race of giant creatures, almost a cross between a crab and a scorpion. The Skeksis used the Garthim as their foot soldiers and exterminated the Gelfling race. This became known as the Gotham War. All but 2 Gelfling remained, one adopted by the peaceful Uru and another sheltered by the Podlings. And that is a brief history of the Dark Crystal's main creatures, the Gelflings. Now for me, I believe that the prequel series is going to be set after the Great Division. The reason why is that they have shown the Skeksis in a behind the scenes image. So although we know ultimately what's going to happen to the Gelflings overall, they die, it will be interesting to see how they go about this. For me, I would imagine that they're probably going to start the series out with a Gelfling lived with the Skeksis, and as they turn, leading to the prophecy and then the war. The reason for this is that the series is dubbed Age of Resistance. So that, for me, is perhaps the most plausible way to approach the series. But that is only if they're going to be keeping to the current and established lore of the universe, which I really hope they are. Because although this is an old movie, it holds a special place in many people's hearts. So the series, to be successful, has to respect that. If it doesn't, it will ultimately be a failure and a sinking ship. Even with that incredible voice cast that they announced, there is no actor in there that would save this if they just ruin all the lore and crap all over a movie which loads of people absolutely love. As always though, I really hope you enjoyed this special video diving into the lore of the Dark Crystal universe. For me, it brought back an awful lot of nostalgia, especially editing this video. If you haven't, please do go and watch the Dark Crystal. It's genuinely a fantastic watch and you won't be disappointed. It's actually some of the Henson Company's best work, in my eyes anyway. Also, please do let me know what you would like me to cover next in this world, and the comment with the most likes will be what I make a video on. Anyway, and as always, guys, if you are new here, please do hit that subscribe button, stay up to date on all the world of pop culture and movie news, and if you like this video, please do give it a like and a share. I've been Mr. Age, take care.
Today, once more, they will replenish themselves, cheat death again, through the power of their source, their treasure, their fate, the Dark Crystal.